What up, guys? Welcome to episode 9 of the Running the Ropes podcast. I am your host, Kalo, here to give you the lowdown on all things wrestling, and I'm joined by my co-host.
What up, boys? It's your man, Soccer Mom, a.k.a. AIM. A little running joke we had this morning.
A little running joke we had this whole day, but you know what's happening now, which is very special, is the week after WrestleMania, which is filled with the Raw after WrestleMania, SmackDown after WrestleMania, and tonight, which is a Wednesday, the NXT after WrestleMania.
Is it Rusev Day?
It is Happy Rusev Day, by the way. I know I forgot to mention that every other podcast, but I just wanted to bring up it's Happy Rusev Day to everybody. And for this podcast, we're going to be running through our thoughts about WrestleMania 34, which just happened over the weekend on Sunday, and then the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania. We're going to give our thoughts about the returns, debuts, and then pretty much anything else going on. So we're going to start with WrestleMania. I feel like the pre-show is something we can gloss over because nothing insane happened, but I want to talk about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And what happened in that match was Woken, this is WWE. Woken Matt Hardy won the Battle Royale thanks to the help of Bray Wyatt, who returned in that match. So what are your thoughts about that, and what do you think about the stable going forward? Because on Raw, we had them in the Tag Team Championship Eliminator, and they're in the finals. So they're going to be maybe facing the bar for the Tag Team Championships.
Well, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Bray Wyatt, and I said that he was going to be teaming up with Matt Hardy.
Yep.
And I called that.
Yep.
It's on video. It's on YouTube. I called that. I'm rubbing it in that face. I booked WWE.
You're so smart.
Yeah, I am. But, I think it's okay. I think it's just what everybody wanted to see after they feuded.
Yeah.
And I don't like the finisher, though, Bray going for the Sister Abigail, but just throwing him into the Twist of Fate.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they could do so much more with that, like Matt doing a Swanton Bomb after Sister Abigail, but I get it because Sister Abigail is no longer inside Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, he's been rid of the whole negative energy.
Yeah.
So that was that match, and then we're going to be moving on to the Women's Battle Royal, no longer the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royale, and that is where Naomi won the
Out of nowhere.
match.
Out of nowhere. Like,
Out of nowhere. RKO out of nowhere, Naomi out of nowhere.
well, she's not in the title picture. I thought, like no one's going to care. Like, it would have made most sense if Bayley or Sasha won it.
Yeah.
And speaking of the two Battle Royales, no NXT call-ups.
In the women's one,
but the first one in NXT,
the men's one had no NXT call-ups, but that was saved for the Raw after WrestleMania and SmackDown, or no, not even SmackDown. No. But we'll get to that a little later. And then we had the Cruiserweight Championship match,
which I didn't see at all,
between the heart and soul of 205 Live, which were being Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. Again, another great match. I would recommend you watch it because everyone's bagging on 205 Live.
Yeah.
But I see this as kind of the step in the right direction for 205 Live, which is another great match with Cedric Alexander becoming your new WWE Cruiserweight Champion.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, you didn't see the match, so we're just going to move on from that. And then next match, the first match on the card, which we had Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and at the time, the current IC champion, The Miz.
Can we just talk about how out of all those three entrances, I love the Miz's entrance the most. Even though Seth was the coolest.
Normal. Yeah.
But Miz's had the graphics coming out, and I was hoping that maybe every champion's graphics was going to be coming out like that.
Yeah. But, the Seth Rollins entrance, I mean, you don't watch Game of Thrones, at least I don't think you do.
But I got the reference.
You got the reference, but as a Game of Thrones fan, like a hardcore one, I loved it.
He's the guy that says winter is coming, right?
No, that is the White Walker, but we're not going to be focusing on Game of Thrones. This is a wrestling podcast. But the winner of that match, I mean, kind of out of nowhere in my opinion, but
it makes sense.
It makes sense, which was Seth Rollins is now your new Intercontinental Champion.
You had Miz, I had Finn, right? And at the time, I wasn't thinking, I forgot Seth didn't have the IC title. So, looking back, during the match, I'm like, oh, crap. See, Seth Rollins never won the IC title. They can make him a Grand Slam champion right there.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right. At that time, when they were fighting, I'm like, okay, Seth's going to win it. Because that makes sense. Because they would keep on mentioning during the match, Seth never won the IC title. He could be a Grand Slam champion time. Grand Slam Rollins, that was shield at Raw.
Yeah, Grand Slam Rollins, another great match on the card. I think it was one of the top matches of the night.
It was a great opener.
It was a very good opener because I remember there's that old verbiage where if you're not first, you want to be the last match.
Yeah.
So it's one of the two matches, and I think later on in the night, as time went on, I think that became match of the night. But one of the next matches we're going to be talking about, I want to get to a little later. But right now, the next match on the card, and then this is in no particular order, just ones I remember, was the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match between Charlotte and Asuka, which another shock finish.
Which another match, we both had Asuka.
Yeah.
This match I saw to the fullest. Great match. Like, call me a hypocrite, call me like a feminist, but this is the first women's match I ever saw. I was fully invested in because I knew the story with Asuka.
Yep.
Because I just knew she was undefeated because they bought it. And Charlotte, the legend women's champion, I was like, I want to see how this match, and they made magic.
Yeah, they did, and Charlotte and Asuka are they're two of the best women's wrestlers on the roster, and arguably Charlotte could be the best wrestler in general in the company. She's one of the best. Again, Asuka's streak was broken. You know, everyone thought, oh, this is where the Carmella cash-in is going to happen, but we're going to get to that a little later when we talk about SmackDown.
Which I also love that both Raw and SmackDown, Asuka wasn't mentioned, she wasn't shown.
Yep.
So it was great.
Yeah, so moving on to the next match, we're going to be talking about the United States Championship match between, again, this is a huge match, Rusev, Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton, and Bobby Roode. Those are the 4 people involved in this match. The current champion at the time was Randy Orton, but at the end of the match, it was Jinder Mahal, the modern-day Maharaja, who came out on top as your next United States champion.
At the podcast, I even said the dark horse is Jinder Mahal. That's made the title vacant between me and you.
Yep.
Because we tied at the end.
We tied.
But I should have gone with my fucking gut saying Jinder Mahal. I let my heart.
I was playing mind games with you, but again, I think Rusev was the one who took the fall in this match.
Rusev was one, and that's great booking on them, making Jinder the ultimate heel, killing Rusev Day, as you see it on Twitter.
Twitch, Twitter, they're all the same thing. But yeah, again, it brings heat on Jinder Mahal, which he needs. I mean, grant you,
no one takes him seriously.
No one takes him seriously, but this adds heat on him, which is great. And I'm interested to see where the United States title stands as far as feuds and what's going to be happening, because we did get on SmackDown that Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton are facing at Backlash.
Because Randy won a qualifier match, which it should have been just called a number 1 contender match.
Number 1 contenders match, but that is that. But the next match on the card, and it's one that I think maybe had match of the night as far as it made me excited, which was the mixed tag match between Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
A lot of people was going to shit on this. Like, let's see how many times Ronda was gonna botch. Ronda was like, it felt natural to her. Like,
it did.
It was great. Like, I thought she was gonna botch because, granted, every celebrity that steps in the ring botches at least once or multiple times. And Ronda just felt like that one gut punch she did to Stephanie. That was a real gut punch.
Yeah. Right
there. And I thought that match stole the show. That was a good midpoint match where the 2 great matches we had so far.
Yeah.
3 counting the Cruiserweight, and then that was a great midpoint. I feel like later on it kind of died down.
Yeah.
But that was a great. If they put it anywhere else in the call, it would have died down. Crowd wouldn't be electric.
With Ronda Rousey, I think everyone would agree now. She was meant to do this.
Yeah.
I feel like when you say that, it's kind of like, oh, Daniel Bryan was meant to wrestle.
CM Punk was meant to wrestle.
CM Punk was meant to wrestle. But, when you transition from one sport to another, it's not easy at all. I mean, grant you, there are some people out there, athletes in any sport.
That are gifted and
will just do
it.
Kurt Angle is a prime example. But when Ronda Rousey is brought up, I think people had some sort of doubt in them because,
No, there was a lot of doubt.
It was a lot of doubt. And also your first match at WrestleMania, you're under a bigger microscope there. So overall, Ronda Rousey made a very great debut, and now she's a full member of the Raw roster, and now she's going to be on every week. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to move on to the next match, which is the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match between the Usos, who are the champion.
Who brought the penitentiary, what's it?
The Uso Penitentiary to WrestleMania on the main card.
And it was a New Day at WrestleMania.
The New Day, and then we had the Bludgeon Brothers.
I didn't see this match.
Yeah.
I already knew the outcome. It wasn't like, oh, who's going to walk out?
Yeah.
So I just because granted, I was watching Mania after I got out of work, which was at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I was kind of behind. Well, you guys were probably at the AJ Styles match. I was at the tag team match, and I just skipped through that match. I'm like, I know who's gonna win already. I don't really care.
Yeah. So in this match, we both had the Bludgeon Brothers walking out of WrestleMania, your new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. And you know what? It was well deserved.
Yeah.
I mean,
overdue.
It was long overdue because I feel that Luke Harper is a very underrated wrestler on the roster. He doesn't get the shine that he deserves. And you know what? It was a great moment for both of them, the Bludgeon Brothers, I'm saying. And I think that down the line, we're going to be getting an Usos rematch, obviously, because they're going to induct the rematch clause. and we're going to move on from there. So the next match on the card, this is one of the matches where I was interested enough to be like, you know what, I'm going to root for you. And that was the Raw Women's Championship match between Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss, who was the champion at the time.
Like, I didn't see this match. Jared, come over here, bud. Yeah, we're all staying. But I didn't.
Oh, just a little heads up. We're going to be talking about the Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. We want to get your thoughts. And, I was saying before that I was really behind Nia Jax in this. The build-up, obviously, they went the kind of the cheap route with calling Nia Jax ugly, this and that.
The bullying and stuff, sure.
It was a quick way out. But overall, you felt for Nia Jax and you wanted her to win. It was a feel-good victory.
So I didn't. And it's not because I think bullying is cool.
He's a big bully.
I just think, as we just stated, it was the easy way.
Yeah.
And therefore it was too easy. Now, obviously, heel, face, throw all that away. You have Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. Nia Jax should come out the winner.
Mm-hmm.
I think they told a really good story in Nia Jax beating Mickie James up before the match started.
Yeah.
Which thus puts Alexa Bliss in position to either run away or act in a very heelish way, using heel tactics, going for the eyes, almost going to DQ, trying to run away. Very heelish, cowardly tactics so that Nia Jax looks like even more of a babyface. But I don't buy her as a babyface.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for her because she's a monster. She's not a dime piece. She's not eye candy. She's a vicious monster that should tear somebody's head off.
It's kind
so
of like
for her to feel bad because Alexa Bliss is talking about, oh, I dropped 300 pounds of loser, blah, blah, blah. Alexa Bliss, you about to get thrown in a trash can. Yeah. So I don't feel bad that Nia Jax was getting bullied.
Yeah. It's because she can stick up for herself. If it was the other way around and it was Nia Jax bullying Alexa Bliss, maybe.
As a bigger person towards a littler person, exactly.
Yeah, so speaking of a bigger person, we're going to be moving on to the Raw Tag Team Championship match between Braun Strowman and a mystery partner and the current Raw Tag Team Champions, The Bar. So going into this match, everyone had their stipulations of who was going to be the mystery partner. I had Neville. He maybe had Elias.
I thought he'd be Big Cass.
There was obviously others.
Who's still yet to return despite being cleared for weeks now.
I think they're just going to repackage him. Honestly.
Let's just tell them what happened.
So what happened in this, before the match, I should say, Braun went on this weird tangent about how his partner isn't in the back, but it's in the crowd. And obviously, he was walking around the ring or around the stadium, and he came across this 10-year-old named Nicholas. Now, after WrestleMania, there was a fact that was dug up that the ref in that match, that Nicholas was his son.
Yeah.
Right, so the kid was a plant. He's a 10-year-old kid. Yeah. He goes up to the ring.
Youngest tag team champion.
Braun goes and beats up the Bar.
Mm-hmm.
They make it look like Braun is getting beat up for a little while. He goes to tag in Nicholas, who's, am I allowed to say certain things?
You're allowed to do it.
So he's shitting the pickle in the corner, holding both ropes because he don't want to enter the match. Braun has to tag him in. Kid comes into the ring and just stands in the corner and then turns and tags Braun back in because he's a 10-year-old kid.
I was laughing so much because Cesaro's face was like, I'm going to kill that fucking kid.
So day of... I was real angry about it, and then I decided not to be a curmudgeon. I remembered that WrestleMania is a family variety show, and I said, you know what? What a cool experience for the kid. I'm sure he had a good time with it, and go back to class tomorrow. Go to class tomorrow with the title belt in hand.
See, the thing is, though, you had, indie guys in the crowd. You could have picked any indie guy. Like Santino Marella. I was thinking...
I don't want Santino.
No, He's saying that same thing where, you pick the wrestler out of the crowd, and that's their debut.
But it's like a plant... wrestler as opposed... See, the whole idea was that Braun doesn't need help.
Yeah.
So he could literally pick a 10-year-old kid and they're going to win. Yeah. I think it was a wasted opportunity for a call-up or a return that would have really popped the crowd. The crowd did not care about this little 10-year-old kid, Nicholas, but like I said, it's a variety show. It's for the kids. Let the kid have his day, I guess.
And then on the Raw following WrestleMania, we had Braun Strowman relinquish the tag team titles because of scheduling problems between Nicholas, who had class because he is in the 4th grade. So we're going to be moving on to the next match, which was the dream match between Shinsuke Nakamura and the current WWE champion AJ Styles. And this is a match that I felt like at the end, you knew this wasn't the end. But at the same time, WrestleMania, you had a dream match in your hands. But due to scheduling problems with time constraints, this and that, they were limited.
All right, so let's talk about the match for a second.
Yeah, for sure.
You have the storyline. It's 2 baby faces. They main evented Wrestle Kingdom, I think 10 in the Tokyo Dome in Japan. These are 2 guys with storied wrestling careers throughout the last 20 years of professional wrestling, and the hype was through the roof from us, from diehard smarks like us, who wanted that work rate, winner wants to win, that's the only thing that matters, story. And we didn't get that.
Nope.
And I think that's our fault. I think that we put too much hype into the match. Realistically, the Universal Championship is the title. WWE Championship, albeit the title on SmackDown, it is the 2nd championship in the WWE.
It's the B title.
That being said, we gave it more than they were going to give it. That being said, with that in mind, it was still a good match. 2 guys that can work anybody. AJ Styles, in my opinion, is the best wrestler in the world, hands down. Better than CM Punk, better than Daniel Bryan, better than Kenny Omega, better than Cody Rhodes, better than John Cena. AJ Styles is the best worker in the wrestling world.
Without a doubt.
And so he can work with a broomstick. He can work with a blow-up doll. And Nakamura, obviously no slouch in his own right, one of the best wrestlers in the world himself. They put on a good match. Do you want to give them the swerve ending? Because it's your show, man.
Well, before we do the swerve ending, I feel like, because the night after WrestleMania SmackDown, we get they're going to have a match at Backlash. And every bad Mania match... I know we're going to get to KOs, but I feel like their match at Backlash is going to be better than Mania.
So the swerve ending to this match was Shinsuke Nakamura was kneeling down and handing over the WWE. So AJ Styles won this match. So Shinsuke Nakamura was kneeling down and handing over AJ Styles' championship to him, but then it ended with a low blow, and that started the Shinsuke Nakamura heel turn.
Let's just say that the low blow looked better than a lot of low blows do in pro wrestling. In addition to what was supposed to be a truly, it was Japanese honor, 2 guys that have really traveled the roads together and had their great rivalry in New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know the history going into the match, so it looks like an honorable match. They had their head-to-head, their face-to-face moment at the end before Nakamura grabs the title. We really just did this. And on a human level, I'm getting goosebumps right now. On a human level, outside of storyline, I'm going to turn heel right now. This was, wow, we really just fought for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania in front of 75,000 people. And that was awesome to see.
Yeah, I feel
then you get the low blow that was really phenomenal.
10 years ago, you wouldn't have never thought AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura at Mania for the title.
And I feel like if you're in that position, we're all wrestling fans here. You know, your dream, regardless if you're fit to wrestle or not, you want to be at WrestleMania and you want to fight for the biggest title they got. And if you want to put on a match, you want it to end like that. You know, it's just the shock value. I mean, we're all human.
Yeah.
So if we were ever to make it a WrestleMania, obviously I'd be a little emotional about it because, that is the showcase of the Immortals. Regardless of indie scene or TNA or anything, WrestleMania is the biggest show. Hands down.
100%.
100%.
Next match.
We're going to be moving on to the next match, which was the shortest match of the night, which was John Cena versus The Undertaker. The match
I don't want to talk about it.
the match that we all thought was just teased for weeks and this and that. We finally got it.
It was a squash match.
It was a squash match with The Undertaker coming out on top as the winner. So throughout this match, it was just basically a showcase of The Undertaker's moveset, and it was just, it was glorifying Undertaker. Now, be it that he's an old man.
He looked good.
He looked very good. He was an old man, but he was very slow.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? He did not look good. He had his hair dyed and his beard dyed, and he had his outfit on, but dude can't move. He took one move from John Cena. Mm-hmm. The match was 2 minutes and 58 seconds. What a waste of the both of them. Mm-hmm. What a smack in the face to the Roman Reigns Undertaker match we saw last year that, albeit a bit disappointing, being that Undertaker is too damn old, was a good match and a perfect ending of the show with him leaving his gear in the ring and walking out. And yeah, they kind of ruined it at Raw 25 with him cutting a nonsense promo that meant nothing. But if you could have left it at that, you could pretend that never happened. No, you give him another wrestling match at WrestleMania where he doesn't even get punched once. This is the kind of move by WWE that drives me crazy.
Yeah, and I feel like the better route to save Undertaker a match is do like they did with The Rock and John Cena, where they have a confrontation at WrestleMania there, and then they build to next year's WrestleMania, where maybe Taker could have spent more time training and getting his body ready for a longer match.
See, I'm a big Undertaker fan because when I saw Undertaker, he was American Badass.
Yeah.
Like me and every other smart, I thought American Badass was going to come out. Because like Jared said, the quarterback, that it was a perfect send-off last year's Mania where he put his hat, he put his jacket, he put his gloves in the ring. That was a perfect send-off, and that dead man persona should have ended there.
Exactly.
But I wanted the American Badass.
We all did, especially with Kid Rock being inducted to the Hall of Fame. But we're going to stop there talking about John Cena Undertaker because it was a very depressing match. We're going to be talking about...
it was a waste, man. The show was so good. I think the lowest point was two of the best acts, two of the best wrestling personas of the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And it was a waste. Total waste.
It was a waste. But
This match should have happened 10 years ago.
Yeah, but a match that wasn't a waste on the card, in my own opinion, was the Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns, the big dog, and Brock Lesnar. What a match. What a great way of storytelling told in this match. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, we all thought Brock Lesnar was out of the WWE. We thought he was already out the door, and he left his title behind. But it turns out the day after, or was it that night?
It was that night. They announced the day after, but it was that night.
It was that night that that Brock Lesnar signed his WWE contract, and he's staying with the company, albeit maybe on a short deal. That's what I heard. How true that is, I don't know.
But let's talk about it. So
it's extended to SummerSlam.
Yeah, so they can have the person who returned, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about what happened. So Brock won the match, like you said. But I want to talk about what happened that night after the gorilla position. Brock goes back into the gorilla position. He's upset. He's furious. He said something to Vince McMahon, and he threw the Universal title at Vince. People say he threw it at Vince. People say he threw it against the wall.
Yeah, see, what I heard is he threw the title at the wall near Vince. So, like, Vince is, like, standing, and then, like, a little off to the left, he threw the title.
There's two stories to it.
Two stories. There's always things. I heard Shane McMahon tried to fight Brock Lesnar, which he would get wrecked. But no one knows the reason behind this. So, again, Brock Lesnar is your Universal Champion, and in the Raw after, we didn't get anything from him. We didn't hear anything.
We didn't get anything
from
from Paul Heyman. We didn't get anything from the authorities.
Nothing like that.
No mention of Brock whatsoever.
So leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about WrestleMania and the matches that we've included. Yeah. Do you think they could have done anything differently? I mean, obviously, people have their opinions, but let us know. Leave a comment down below.
And do you agree on the main event being the worst main event ever? A lot of people are saying, yeah, this is the worst main event. You let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
But let's talk about something greater.
Yeah, let's talk about something greater, and I think this is what every wrestling fan looks forward to, and that is the Raw after WrestleMania, where we're going to be talking about the debuts, the whatever surprises they had in store.
Everything that was held off before Mania, everything happens either at Mania or the night after Mania. Beach Ball Mania is running wild.
Beach Ball Mania is running wild. So I want to talk about the debuts, because that is something that, you know, is often overlooked. And whenever you get these debuts, you know, it's new additions, it's new faces, it's new feuds that could be started.
I just want to state out there that last time they were in this arena, Paige debuted.
Yep. Paige debuted and won the Divas Championship.
And in the same arena where she won her first title, making her the youngest Divas champion, she retired.
Yeah, she retired, and we're going to be talking about more. I want to kind of save that for another podcast. But talking about debuts...
There weren't a lot of debuts. Well,
there were 2 debuts.
3 debuts, technically.
Technically 3, but 2 really... call-ups,
Yeah,
I should
call-ups.
say. And we're going to be talking about the first one that we got of the night, which was the old NXT Women's Champion, Ember Moon, who was Nia Jax's partner in a tag team match.
See, Nia Jax is spoiled. She said, my tag team partner is Ember Moon, which was a pop. But
Yeah.
I'd be like, my tag team partner is...
And then you get the theme music, this
boom.
and that.
I think that would have been electric.
Yeah, you know, all these people in the arena, they're just there for the debuts. And again, the Raw after WrestleMania, you're getting pretty much every culture in the arena. It was like a soccer arena, which
Which is every Mania after.
every WrestleMania, every Raw, you know, that's what you get.
So Ember Moon and Nia Jax win the match, beating Alexa Bliss and Mickey James.
Mickey James. So Ember Moon is now on the Raw roster.
As of right now.
Because next week, which we're going to have...
Do you want to say it? You want me to say it?
Yeah, we're going to have the Superstar Shakeup. We're not going to have a WWE draft. So there is that.
So, which Michael Cole explained, it's just trades behind the scenes. We don't see what's happening. Kayfabe saying that.
You're just going to get you're going to get shuffling of superstars. So we're going to be moving on to the next debut, which, you know, I have a little thoughts about it, which was the Authors of Pain. The AOP, which they came up with their manager, Paul Ellering. So now, let me paint the scene for you. Heath Slater and Rhino are in the ring.
Yeah.
They're talking about how they were the first SmackDown Live tag team champs, and they haven't gotten any recognition. Out come Authors of Pain. Again, it's a showcase of the Authors of Pain's moveset, how strong they are, this and that. So Authors of Pain win. That is the end of it. So at the end of the match, the Authors of Pain are walking to the back, but they leave their manager, Paul Ellering,
they shake their head.
ringside. Yeah, they kind of just shrug him off to say, you know what? This is the end. We've made it to the Big Show. We don't need you anymore. No pun intended with the Big Show. But we don't need you anymore. We're moving on.
Well, you know, I was upset about this. I was furious because that's what made AOP, in my opinion, great. Mm-hmm. They have that person who's managed the Road Warriors and managed all these greats. Without them, they're just another tag team. And I feel like they're going to be another Ascension.
See, I don't know about that because I feel like if you're going to treat them right, you got to treat them as a big man tag team.
Like a tag team that never loses.
So we're gonna see where Authors of Pain land as far as tag team titles. Maybe over the summer they get their tag team title run. We'll see about that. But now we're going to be moving on to the returns on Raw, which there were two.
Which we got two. Well, it was kind of a re-return because Jeff Hardy did return.
Yeah.
At the Great Ultimate Deletion, was it? It was Great War?
No, he returned at the Ultimate Deletion as Brother Nero.
Yeah.
But we got the return of Jeff Hardy, which was pretty nice. I mean, Jeff Hardy, obviously, us growing up during the Attitude Era and stuff like that, Jeff Hardy was the guy for us. Yeah. Everyone loved him.
Do you think he's going to get traded to SmackDown?
I don't know.
Because he's Braves with Mad now.
Yeah.
So does Jeff to go to the singles run?
Jeff might be moved to SmackDown to kind of get him on his solo run, and I feel like that'll kind of spearhead at some point.
Because they did a segment that Jeff is not associated with them.
He acknowledged that he was Brother Nero, but he kind of was just like, you know what? Oh, I left you a voicemail. Whatever. Your voice, it must have been deleted. Like,
and then Jeff and Finn and Seth were like, well, what was that about? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, just a family thing, I guess, with them. But
which was great. It was
very great. Yeah. But the big return of the night was Bobby Lashley.
Oh, no. Samoa Joe.
And Samoa Joe. But we're going to be talking about Bobby Lashley and where we think that he's going to be in the next couple months, which I personally think that if Brock Lesnar retains his title at the greatest Royal Rumble ever, I think the feud going into SummerSlam is going to be Lashley and Lesnar. Which
is the dream match. And when Lesnar left, they were building Lashley as the next Brock Lesnar. He even did the rope thing in the power over WrestleMania 23. And so that's the dream match that's meant to happen. No one thought it would ever happen. Mm-hmm. But now they're both in the ring. They're both under contract. If they don't do a SummerSlam, it's a wasted opportunity.
I think that's where it's going to spearhead at SummerSlam. And like you said, the last return of the night for Raw was Samoa Joe. And this is where Roman Reigns is in the ring saying, like, you know, I got beat. There's a conspiracy against me. And then out comes Samoa Joe.
I thought you were going to say R-Truth. I was a part of the conspiracy.
Yeah, right? But Samoa Joe absolutely tore Roman Reigns a new one, saying that he lied. He lied to himself, that he said he can beat Lesnar, but he really couldn't. And I think that's going to be the feud moving forward as far as Reigns and Samoa Joe.
If Roman beats Brock at Greatest Royal Rumble, Joe has to win that title.
Joe is going to be the next in line.
He has to. No, I want him after that promo. He deserves that title right there. He deserves him that he's ready for the title. He's been ready. Even Paul Heyman said he wished he could manage Samoa Joe because he could talk. Samoa Joe could be the next CM Punk.
Exactly. So that about does it for the Raw side of things.
SmackDown was kind of underwhelming.
SmackDown was very underwhelming, but we had some surprises and, some things thrown in the mix. So one of the things I want to talk about is the debut of the iconic duo Peyton Royce and Billie Kay.
So, you've been following them. I haven't been following them at all.
Yes.
And I fell in love with them. I fell in love with Billie Kay. Peyton voices, I couldn't get it into her accent.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where it's from.
They're both Australian.
Oh, but by Billie Kay, you can't see it. And maybe because I have a little bit of crush of Billie Kay.
You're blinded by your love.
But don't tell Alexa Bliss I love Morgan.
Yeah.
But no, they were great though on the mic. Like, besides being like beautiful women, they were really good on the mic. You called them an LA Cool, which I don't think so at all.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm kind of comparing them to Late Cool is that they're going to be together. Like, that's a package deal.
Yeah, and I don't want, and like you said, they could probably break up down the line. I don't want, this is one team I don't want to break up.
Exactly.
Just like the New Day. If you break up the New Day, they're going to get shuffled around. Like the iconic duo.
You'll lose them in the shuffle.
Yeah, I don't want them. They need to stay together like glue. Like peanut butter and jelly. You can't break up peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly, man.
Yeah.
So the next kind of debut, I guess, I don't know, is your new SmackDown Live general manager, Paige.
Everybody was saying yes, because it's always denied it.
Yeah.
But think about it, the last female general manager was AJ Lee, and that didn't go. People were shitting on her for that.
Yeah, I feel like Paige, though, because AJ Lee was dealt the psychotic gimmick. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I think Paige, as far as she can be a heel or she can be a face, I don't know what route they're going with Paige as like right now, but I feel like since they're pushing the women's division really heavy on Raw and SmackDown and NXT, this is a good thing. I think it's good. I want to see where they go with this. Obviously, we just got one night of her, so we really don't know where we stand with this. So overall, I think this whole week of wrestling has been great. And I think that we got a lot more coming up with the Superstar Shakeup next week. We got the greatest Royal Rumble ever held in Saudi Arabia, which is going to be, I think it's going to be another fun match, another fun night.
And when you told me about the Universal title match, we kind of teased on the post that predictions.
Yeah.
But like 15 men, anyone can win it.
Anyone can win it. And we just got news today that Rusev, Happy Rusev Day, is going one-on-one with the
Jinder Mahal.
No, with the Undertaker.
What?
With the Undertaker.
In a casket match, right?
What?
In a casket match?
I don't know. I didn't see. I just saw that Rusev and the Undertaker were going one-on-one.
I saw somewhere right now. It was in a casket match.
It could be a casket match for all I know, but it's going to be fun. It's going
to
be
fun. Trying to kill Rusev Day.
So we're going to save that whole prediction.
Is it next week or is it the week after?
April 27th. It's a Saturday, I think. Again, I'm not good with dates, but we're going to save that for another day. But let us know what you guys think of the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania, and what do you think about WrestleMania in general?
What's going to happen at NXT?
What's going to happen at NXT tonight, because we don't obviously know, because we're recording it right before NXT starts.
Just about 3 hours before. It's like 4 or 5 o'clock now, 3 hours before.
It is 5 o'clock on the East Coast. But let us know your thoughts about WrestleMania in general. And do you have any fantasy booking you'd like to, have us talk about? That about does it here for the Running the Ropes podcast. I hope y'all enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.